afternoon. I want to thank everyone for joining us today on Financing Your MBA. This is a webinar designed for applicants and new students enrolled in the MBA for, excuse me, the MBA for Executives program at the Paul Mirage School of Business. If you happen to be looking at another program, you are going to gain a lot of information today, and we'll be able to answer some questions for you as well. We have people on our webinar today who are enrolled, ready to go for the fall, who are meeting us today online for the very first time, and most of you are somewhere in the middle. So to those I know, hello, it is great to somewhat see you again, though I think you can see me better than I can see you. And to those I have not yet met, I look forward to doing so. And let me actually mention a couple things briefly. If you do have your camera on, please turn it off. If you have your microphone on, please turn it off. Please take advantage today of the chat box. There are a couple of us here who will be behind the scenes throughout the presentation, able to answer your questions. Anything we cannot answer behind the scenes through chat, we will also address at the end of the presentation during an open Q&A. So we will be sure to answer every question we possibly can for you today. I haven't yet told you who I am. I am J.R. Reisner. I'm Director of Admission for the MBA for Executives program at the Mirage School. And it is my pleasure today to introduce my colleague, Alda Ruggiero, Director of Financial Aid for the Mirage School. Together, we will be here by your side to help you navigate this process. Alda?
Can you hear me, Jennifer?
I can indeed. Feel free to get started.
Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties here. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. As Jennifer said, my name is Alda Ruggiero, and I'm the Director of Financial Aid. I share the Financial Aid office with Kristen Radelik. She's my right hand. She's the Associate Director. And please feel you can reach out to either one of us in the future with any questions that you may have. So I'm going to take you on a little tour of financial aid today. So I'm going to be discussing your financial aid options, how to accept your financial aid, student billing, and also the resources that we have. And I'm also going to explain a little bit of how our process works. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to apply for financial aid by filling out the FAFSA. And you have to fill out the FAFSA each year. Now the FAFSA comes out in October. So this October, the FAFSA for the 2021-22 school year will come out. There's no rush to complete it at that time. You can complete it anytime you wish. I do ask that you have your FAFSA completed for the following school year by next May. If you haven't completed the 2021 FAFSA application, please do so if you're interested in federal loans. So once we receive your FAFSA, you will be sent an email from our office notifying you that we have received the FAFSA. And at that point in time, it will also let you know, it will tell you to log into your financial aid account to see if we're missing any additional documents. And I'll get into that at a later slide. But the FAFSA, by completing the FAFSA, we can offer you the Federal Direct Unsubsidized Loan, which is the Stafford loan. And we can also offer you the Federal Direct Graduate Plus loan. Now, the Stafford loan has a cap on it of $20,500 per academic school year. Whereas the Graduate Plus loan does not have a cap on it. It's a supplement to the Stafford loan. So if the Stafford loan were not enough for you, you could request that we offer you the Graduate Plus loan. Please know that when we send out our award notifications, unless we have specifically had a conversation with you, you will only see the Stafford loan. We do not automatically award the Graduate Plus loan because we actually want to have a conversation with the student. We want to know how much you will need. You may need something just to cover your fees, or maybe you need a little bit extra for living expenses. We really want the student to think about what they need. We don't want to be throwing these loans out there without the student thinking and without us having the conversation with you. So the good news is that the Stafford and the Graduate Plus loan, the interest rate has gone down by 2%. So for the Stafford loan for the 2021 school year, the interest rate is fixed at 4.3%. There is a slight origination fee to this loan. And the Graduate Plus has a 5.3% fixed interest rate. And as you can see, the origination fee is quite higher. It's at 4.236. Now, the interest rate is fixed for the life of the loan. So until you pay it off, this is what the interest rate is going to be. The interest rate changes every July 1st. So come July of 21, the interest rate will be different for the loans for that particular school year. And hopefully they'll continue to go down. So to receive your loans, you have to be enrolled in a minimum of 6 units each quarter. That should not be a problem, and Student Services will be enrolling you in your classes. While you're in school, your payments are deferred, but please know that the interest is accumulating. You can make payments at any time against these loans. You can pay the interest, or let's say you get a bonus and you want to pay your loan down. You can certainly do so. Repayment begins 6 months after graduation, and once we disperse the loan to you, you will be notified by your loan servicer. I don't know who your loan servicer is. There's 10 different loan servicers, and you will be assigned to one. And the loan servicer is who you will be working with once you go into repayment. So approximately a month before you're due to go into repayment, your loan servicer will contact you with the different repayment plans. If you do not select a repayment plan, they will automatically place you in the 10-year standard repayment plan, which of course it's the less years, it's the shorter amount as far as paying, but you're going to be paying a larger amount every month. There are different payment plans, and I always tell the students, please go with what best fits your financial need at this time. You can always switch from one payment to another. And as I mentioned, the interest starts as soon as we disperse the funds. Now, one thing I wanted to make clear, the interest is not going to start on the entire loan. It goes quarter per quarter. So when we disperse the money for fall, that's when the interest will start on that particular disbursement. We will be sending you an email every time we disperse money to you. And this is something that is required by law. And the email will tell you that we've dispersed money on your behalf, but you have the option to return all of it or a portion of it. If you decide to do that, whatever you return within the 120 days, they will adjust the interest on that amount. So just be prepared that you will be receiving this email each and every time we disperse. And it does not mean that we're canceling your loan, just that you have the option to cancel it or return a portion. Sometimes students get confused and they think that we're canceling their loan. If you did not want to go with the federal loans, you have the option to go with the private loan. Now, the difference between the private and the federal is that with the private loans, your interest rate is going to be based on your FICO score. So if you don't have a really good FICO score, that would not be a good choice. There is no origination fee with the private lenders, and they also look at debt to income. They do all offer a fixed interest rate and a variable interest rate. So the selection is really, up to you who you want to go with. With the Grad Plus, there's a very minimum credit rating that is looked at. They don't look at FICO score. They basically look to see that the student has not defaulted on any prior federal loans, that there are no liens, bankruptcies, and if the student has credit cards or credit card, that they are punctual with their payments. Should you get rejected, let's say you have adverse credit on the Grad Plus, you do have the option to rectify the situation with an explanation, or you can get a cosigner. All right, so scholarships are awarded by the admissions office, but we also have external scholarships on our financial aid website that you can look at. And the students ask me all the time, do you have any scholarships? Unfortunately, we don't, except for what's on our website. But I do tell the students to do a personal search for scholarships, perhaps based on your background, perhaps you're a single mom, perhaps your heritage, and see, you know, what you can find. I have to say that at this stage, when you're going for a master's, it's difficult to find scholarships, but it doesn't mean that you can't and that there isn't anything out there. Also, if you're a veteran, we've listed the veteran benefits site here for you. And if you are a veteran and you do have benefits, it is a good idea to contact them directly and see exactly what it is that they need from you. And the way the veteran benefits work is that the student submits their documents to the VA office here on campus, and every quarter the student has to fill out what is called a course enrollment. It's a copy of your classes, and then it's signed by you and by Student Services. It is then forwarded to the VA office, and then they submit that information to the VA department, and then when they get confirmation of your benefits, then they send our office a spreadsheet, and we are then able to input those benefits, and we do this every quarter. Now, just to let you know, if you are a veteran and you have 100% benefits for fall quarter, $1,500 of that benefit will be refunded to you because that is the deposit that you paid. The rest of the funding will go towards your fees, okay? I just wanted to let you know that 100% is not going to go towards your fees for fall quarter. Because you paid that $1,500 deposit, we have to refund that to you directly. Okay. So when you log into your financial aid, this is what you are going to see. This is the application status. When you log in, you're going to be selecting fall 2020 through summer 2021. It actually defaults to that school year right now. This is going to let you know if your file is complete. If you have to submit any documents, please follow these instructions here in red. You have to upload, you're going to be logging into Campus Logic, and you're going to be uploading the document or documents, and then we will pull the documents, review them, and then make your file complete. I'm pretty sure that for the majority of you, we're not going to be asking for anything. So the next screenshot, this is my net cost. So this shows you your academic school year budget, your tuition, that first line there, that $77,716. This is a sample of the MBA students who started this past fall. So their total tuition is $136,000 for the program, and they pay $19,429 per quarter. So in your first year, you're going to be attending fall, winter, spring, and summer. So the $77,716 is actually 4 quarters worth of tuition. Now, your living expenses, we give you a full-blown academic school year budget, just like when you were an undergrad, housing, transportation, and personal. And those two, the tuition and the living expenses, is what makes up your academic school year budget. Now, one thing I wanted to point out, under direct costs, it says fees and health insurance. If you were to click on direct costs, you would see there's a statement there that tells you that students in the MBA program are not covered by health insurance through the school, okay? Now, this particular student has a scholarship of $10,700, and so what he's looking to cover, if he doesn't have any savings, he's actually looking to cover $110,650 if he were looking for living expenses as well, okay? And hopefully, the majority of the students are only going to be asking for, money just to cover their fees. Hopefully, you're not going to, need living expense money, but once again, if you do, please reach out to either me or Kristen. Okay, so once we've awarded you, now we're not going to be sending out award notifications probably until late June, early July, and that is because we have not received information on what the fees for next fall are going to be for any of our programs as yet. So, but once we do have, we've completed your award, this is where you will go to accept your loan or loans. Now, you can see that the student received a fellowship for $10,000 and it's already accepted. Now, we do that for the student. We automatically replace any fellowship scholarship on accept for the student. The direct loan is on the status of offer. So you must click on that little arrow and accept that loan. If you want a lesser amount, you need to input that amount in the box, request lesser loan amount, and then accept the loan. Okay, if you accept it first, you can't go back in and request a lesser amount. You would have to contact me or Kristen to let us know. Now, if you wanted to view, once we make the initial disbursement, if you would like to see what you're going to be receiving every quarter, you could go right here, click on View My Aid by Terms, and it will show the quarterly disbursement. So you know exactly what you're going to be receiving every quarter. So then you would click, now just to let you know, we have a lot of students that get confused with their scholarship or fellowship. They have to accept their fellowship for the, and I'm going to use the word scholarship because we're actually trying to get away from using fellowship. I know that you have to accept your scholarship for the MBA department, but you also have to accept it for financial aid. Now, if this student did not have a loan and all they had was their scholarship, to accept it, you're actually accepting the terms and conditions. You would have to click on Continue to Process My Aid. Okay, and I'll show you where that takes you. And then at the very bottom of this slide, you see accept the terms and conditions of my financial aid. You have to select that. If you do not select that, that scholarship will never ever disperse. Okay, just wanted to make that clear. As far as the federal funds and payment authorization, you have the option to let the university pay any bill that you have with your federal funds or just your fees. And that's your choice, whatever you would like to do. Of course, if you're only taking out enough money to cover your fees, then you probably want to select, just fees. Oops. Okay. So once you've accepted, you're going to get instructions to go to a tab called oh my gosh, the name is escaping me. It's a tab that gives you all the instructions on what you need to do. At the very bottom of the page, it's going to give you a link to the federal student aid. This is where you will sign the loan agreement for the Stafford loan and also for the Graduate Plus. Now, when you go to sign the loan note for the Stafford, it's not going to say Stafford loan, it's just going to say subsidized, unsubsidized loan, but that is the Stafford loan. So you will need to sign the loan note for both of these loans. And basically what they're going to be asking you is for your demographic information and then 2 references. The references cannot reside at the same address. The purpose of these references is so that if you were, let's say that you were to move and you didn't contact, student aid with your new address, they actually would contact one of these references to get a new address on you. Then you also have to complete the entrance counseling session. This is like a tutorial regarding your loans. All of these steps have to be completed. You have to accept your aid, you have to sign the loan agreements, and you must complete the entrance counseling. If any of these are missing, your loans will not disperse. Also, when you graduate, you will have to complete what is called an exit counseling, and we will remind you to do that. Also, I wanted to point out when you go to the studentaid.gov site, you're going to click on complete and process, and then the two boxes highlighted, that's where you do the loan agreement and the entrance counseling session. And this is what, when you click on that, this is what you're going to see, the master promissory note. So you'll have to log in, and you'll use your PIN from your FAFSA to log in. And you can also, if you wanted to, look at all of the repayment plans on this website, and that would be under Manage Loans. And for the Graduate Plus, you can see here at the bottom, it says, I'm a graduate professional student. So that would be the Graduate Plus loan note. And as I mentioned before, the Stafford loan, you can see it says MPN for subsidized, unsubsidized loans. Okay, and then there's an explanation here of what the entrance counseling is, and then you would just log in to start. And I just wanted to mention that that information is then sent to the school. So we will know when you've completed the loan note and you've done the entrance counseling. So now for for the registration fees and student billing, fees are always due, or any bill that you have is always due on the 15th, unless the 15th falls on a weekend and then it's the next Monday. But for this coming school year, your fall fees are due on September 15th, the winter fees, December 15th, spring, March 15th, and then summer, June 15th. We've included the Zot account website. This is where you will log in to see your billing statement and see your credits and what is due. For those of you, if you take out enough loans to cover your fees in full, please review your Zot account. You never know if there might be an issue. Don't take it for granted that everything is okay. When you get the email about your Zot bill, please log into your Zot account just to make sure that everything looks kosher. And if you think that there's something wrong, then please let us know. Now, the Zot bill goes out approximately 30 days before the fees are due. So for fall, the Zot bill will be sent out around August 15th. At that time, you should see all of your credits. If you've done everything, if everything has been completed, you should see your $1,500 SIR deposit. You should see your loan or loans, and you should see your scholarship if you were awarded a scholarship. If you are going to be late in making your payments, let's say you have a balance, please let us know prior to the fee deadline date. You are responsible to make your payments on time. If you are late, there's a $50 fee that is charged to you. And if you don't pay it, what happens is that when the winter Zot bill goes out mid-November, that $50 late fee is still going to be on your account. And let's say that you have enough financial aid to pay your fees in full for winter. What the system is going to do is, out of those fees, it's going to pay that $50 off, and then you're going to be $50 short for your winter payment. So that's another reason why it's a good idea to always check your billing statement. Payments are due by 5 p.m. If you're even 1 minute late, you'll have a $50 late fee. The maximum is $100. And please know that the late fees are assessed by the university, cannot be waived. But if you're having, some type of special issue, like I said, please let us know, and we'll be able to assist you. So we have different forms of payment. This year was the first year that the students were allowed to use a credit card, but please know that there's a 2.75 processing fee to use the credit card. And sometimes you can't help it. Maybe you've got a small amount and that's just what you need to do. But if you can not go that route, I think it would be best. We also have e-check. You can pay your bill through your Zot account, and what you just put in your information about your bank, and then the university will draw the funds through your bank. And This is not automatically done every quarter. So if this is what you would like to do, if you want to pay the balance, electronically, you do have to go in every quarter to do this. You can also send in a personal check, cashier's check, money order. If you want to send in a check, we've got the address here, the cashier's office. International payments can be done by Flywire or Western Union. Excuse me. Now, we do have a payment called the PACE payment plan. That allows the student to make 3 payments to their fees. So the way it works is you would log into the financial services website and you would complete the application for the PACE program. So let's say that you owe a balance of $9,000. That is your portion. So you would pay 1/3 of that. And as soon as you pay that 1/3, then your fees are going to show paid. The second payment, the second $3,000 would be due in October, and the final $3,000 would be due in November. So it allows you to make 3 separate payments, but September, October, and November. And there is no interest on that. There is a small fee, and the fee is based on the amount that you need to borrow. So the disbursement of funds. The money is always dispersed equally amongst the terms that you are attending. So your loan, let's say for example, the unsubsidized Stafford loan, you take it out for the full $20,500. So you will have a disbursement of $5,071 for fall, for winter, for spring, and for summer. And that's the way our system is set up. Let's say that you needed additional funding for living expenses, and you decided come October, this is what you need. You need $5,000. And you don't want it split amongst the 4 quarters. You need that money right now. You need to let us know so that we can manually adjust the disbursement to pay out only under fall quarter. Once again, the reminder to accept your awards, the terms and conditions, complete the loan notes, and the entrance counseling. Now, you have the choice to let us know how you want any additional, let's say, living expense money sent to you. You can opt to have the money deposited or electronically to your bank account, which used to be called DEF, Deposit of Electronic Fund Transfer, and now it's called electronic refund. When you go to your ZOT account on the left-hand side, you're going to see electronic refunds. Or you can have a check mailed to you. I highly recommend that you do not have a check mailed to you, that you sign up for the electronic refund. Whether you have anything coming to you or not, it's a good idea to have that on the system. Not only do you get your money faster if you have, requested living expense money, you get it sooner, and there's no chance of the check getting lost in the mail. And I've seen too many checks get lost in the mail. Now, as far as when these excess funds are paid to you, it's always the first day of the quarter, of that new quarter. So for fall, if you're requesting living expense money, we are releasing the funds on September 28th. For winter, it'd be January 6th. For spring, March 24th. And for summer, would be June 21st. Also, the way our system works is that the financial aid that you have, our system will look at that quarterly amount, and the money will be applied to your fees first and foremost, okay? And then that's where the excess money comes in. Whatever is left over, that's the money that you'll get on September 28th. And of course, if you have any revisions or changes, if you're going to be withdrawing or a leave of absence, please let our office know. I also want you to know that we do keep tabs on your satisfactory academic progress. We do not do this quarterly, but we do send you a quarterly reminder for you to check your status. Make sure that you're maintaining a 3.0 GPA. Make sure that you're taking enough units. We do review this at the end of spring quarter. So at the end of spring quarter, if you're below a 3.0, or let's say you didn't take enough units, we would send you a letter and we would let you know, and the letter would say that you're not eligible to receive any future financial aid, which would include summer. We do give you the option to explain your situation. And just to let you know, we have maybe a handful of students that this happens to, but if you were on SAP, you would have the option to file an appeal. And we do look at the appeals very quickly. And depending on your situation, you know, it will be approved or not approved. But I have to say that in all the years that I've been working here, for a student to go on SAP, it's usually, you know, either a work issue or a health issue, something to that effect. And I can tell you honestly that we've never denied anybody an appeal because they've always had a very good reason. So each year, remember to apply for aid. Or with, if you're taking a private loan, remember that you need to, you know, reapply for that private loan. Remember to accept your aid. Now, in your second year, if you decide to take a loan again, you do not have to complete the loan note, nor do you have to complete the entrance counseling session again. All you'll have to do is log into your financial aid and just accept the loan. Okay, that's all you'll have to do. And of course, if you have a scholarship for the second year, you know, you'll have to accept that also by accepting the terms and conditions. Once again, please be responsible when you're borrowing. Take only what you need. Please feel free to talk to us about how much you would need, and we can help you with that. Understand the terms of the loan and keep your loan documents. Keep track of what you're doing. Keep track of how much you are borrowing. Keep in touch with your loan servicer. If you have a change of address, please know that this must be done through the registrar's office, through, I believe it's web change. And then once you do it there, then that will trickle down to our office and it will update the address for us as well as for the for your loans. And then of course you also want to let student services know that you have a change of address. We're two separate entities, so we don't connect as far as that goes. So just some miscellaneous information here. There's the website for the federal loans, for the FAFSA, financial literacy, also the website for the interest rate and how that works, repayment simulator, and the external scholarships, that is our financial aid website. And then we also have the government VA website here. And these are our university resources. The first one is My Aid account, where you would go to select to accept your aid, student billing account, financial services, that's where you would go for PACE, the registrar's office, where you would go to make your change of address, graduate division, student health, the international center, and also our veterans services office here on campus. Please feel free to contact me with any questions that you may have, or Kristen as well. Also, I wanted to let you know that we have a sheet called a loan funding estimation to cover the cost of fees. And what this is, it's really the worst scenario possible. If you needed 100% loan funding, we have this broken down not only quarter by quarter, but year by year. So if you're interested in seeing that, please let me know, and I will be more than happy to send you the attachment so you can see that. And with that, I don't know if there's any questions.
Alda, we do have a couple of questions.
Yes.
The first question I was unable to answer on my own that I hope you will help with is, how long does it take to get funding if I am just applying now? Will I receive it in time to pay for fall?
Oh, absolutely. When the student files the FAFSA, we normally get that FAFSA within 3 to 4 days. That's how quick the process is. So we get your FAFSA, we receive your FAFSA, you receive the lovely email telling you, that we've received it, log into your financial aid account. right now, as I mentioned before, we're not going to start sending out award notifications until late June, early July, because we haven't heard back yet on what the fees are going to be. So as far as our process goes, it's pretty quick. Once we send the information to the student, that might be another story, because then that is going to be dependent on them, how quickly they complete everything that they need to do. But once they've done it, then the federal government sends us that information. And when we're ready to send that ZOP bill mid-August, if they've completed everything that they have to do, everything is going to be shown on that ZOP bill. All of the disbursements are going to be there.
Excellent.
So yeah, I mean, let me point one thing out. If you haven't completed your admissions application and you file for the FAFSA, what will happen is that we will accept that FAFSA, but you'll get a notice from our office saying, oh, by the way, we have your FAFSA, but we can't match you up to any admissions information. So once your admission information has been completed, then the FAFSA is automatically going to connect. I would say at this point, you can go ahead and wait until your admissions application has been completed and you've accepted, and then you can file the FAFSA. Please try to file the FAFSA no later than, I would say maybe the end of June.
Excellent. Okay, another question. Do I sign separately for any scholarships and then financial aid, or is it all in one acknowledgement form?
So for the scholarships, you will be signing for the MBA department. And then for financial aid, you'll be signing for us. And as I said before, the scholarship will already be on accept. And if that's all you have is the scholarship, you will have to scroll all the way down until you see the terms and conditions. So you're not only signing for the MBA department for your scholarship, but you are also signing for financial aid. And our terms and conditions are that, you maintain, if you click on your scholarship or fellowship on My Aid, you can see what the terms and conditions are. And it will show you that you have to maintain a 3.0 and that you have to be enrolled in a certain amount of units. Also, since I'm talking about that, if you click on the loans, you'll get an abundance of information regarding the loans that you can actually print up. So just FYI there. Any other questions, Jennifer?
Yes, there is one more. I was approved for scholarships. Do I have the option of receiving funds by check or electronic deposit?
So as I mentioned before, your funds will first and foremost go towards the payment of your fees. So that scholarship and any other financial aid that you have will be applied directly to your fees. That money will not be given to you.
Okay, just to clarify, so everyone does understand that it's more of a reduction of tuition than it is cash given to you.
Correct.
Excellent.
Correct. And they'll see that on their ZOP bill when they look at their ZOP bill and they see all of their credits. They'll see the total amount of the tuition, and then they'll see what's been applied to that amount. And if they owe a balance, they'll see the balance, and if they've taken out enough federal funding to cover their fees in full, then they won't see the balance. One thing I wanted to say is that when you're looking at your ZOT account, okay, there's a minimum required units that you have to have, which I mentioned before, which is 6 units. And it will say MRU. Now, it's also going to say that your financial aid has not been applied yet. What that simply means is that that money has not paid your fees yet. That's all it means. Your fees will get paid once all of the money is there and it comes together with your units, okay? So it could be that when you see that ZOT bill mid-August, you're not going to see any units, and it's going to say that you're not enrolled in the minimum required units. Please don't worry about that, because the MBA office will be enrolling you in your units. Now, it could be that maybe at the time you get your ZOT bill, the units will already be posted, but maybe not. I'm just not sure when they're going to be enrolling the students. So if you don't see the units, please don't worry. I'm sure they will be posted shortly after that. And then you can always go back and review your ZOT bill.
Excellent. Okay, another question did come in. Can I submit FAFSA without knowing if I have been accepted into the program?
Oh, yes, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And that refers to what I said before, where if your admissions application is not complete, you can submit the FAFSA. The FAFSA we will receive it, but then we're going to send you that message saying, oh, we have your FAFSA, but we can't match you up to any admissions application. So the FAFSA will kind of stay in limbo, so to speak, until your admissions application has been completed. Once everything is done, the FAFSA will automatically connect with your admissions application.
Excellent. That is it today for questions from our viewers.
Okay, well, I just wanted to tell everybody, thank you once again for joining us. If you have any questions, any concerns, please feel free to email me. Obviously, this is my office number, and I'm not in the office. And I do have a message on my phone stating that if you want to talk to me, to please email me. If you'd like to speak over the phone, I would be more than happy to do so. Just email me your number when you would like to speak with me, and I would be more than happy to call you. And once again, if you would like to see the loan funding estimations, send me an email and I will forward that to you. Of course, that's going to be based on, you know, the fees for this fall, for this past fall, I should say, for the 2021 school year.
Perfect.
And that's it.
Thank you so much for sharing all this great information with us today. If you're still online and you have a few questions, a couple of us will stay online for a minute or two to answer anything we can for you. And while you're deciding what is next in your adventure coming into graduate school, what courses you're taking, what program you're going into, I want you to know that we are here to answer any questions. If I haven't met with you, I would love to. If you are waiting for enrollment, I'm happy to answer any questions you have as well. So I'm going to wish everyone a wonderful day. I'm going to ask you to save 2 dates. If you want to know more about us, please join us on June 24th for our upcoming webinar, Healthcare in 2020. You'll be able to hear from professors teaching in the Healthcare Leadership track in the MBA for Executives program, and recent alumni graduating in just a week who have seen the impact on their career in a program they are just finishing now. And then there's an opportunity on July 11 for you to join us for what we call MBA Preview Day. So it'll be a virtual preview day where you will hear from a professor giving a bit of a sample lecture and have the opportunity to interact and engage, then again with alumni asking questions of your own about what the program is they're experiencing, all the benefits they've received from the MBA and how it has impacted their lives. So if we don't have any more questions, I guess at this point I will thank everyone for joining us and wish you a wonderful day. Be well out there.